Hi, my name is Guilherme Rodrigues. I'm a Brazilian student, and this is a video made to explain one of my projects. This project I call MMQ App. That's because MMQ stands for the same thing as the abbreviation of least squared method, but in Portuguese. And this project is basically an app that calculates the best function that fits some data based on the least square method. There is some kind of error propagation too, but we will talk about this later. Now I want to explain how the method works. It's a little bit complicated, but I'll try my best to explain it. So the least square is basically an algorithm that finds the best function that fits some data based on a loss function, the sum of all squared distance between the line and the data. Let's say we have a two-dimensional dataset and a function, represented by this red line. We take one point, calculate the distance between the point and the function, and squares it. Then we do the same thing to all the other points, and finally we sum all together to find a number. Let's call it number z. And the task of the least square method is minimize the z to find a line or function that minimize the z, that find a z as small as possible. Simple as that. So let's go back to my project. Here is the app. As you can see, it is in Portuguese because I didn't thought about doing in English at the time, but I should have done, and I didn't. And yeah, let's take a look at the code. Here I won't explain much. I will just talk a little bit about the package. The package that I used here, it was tkinter and matplotlib. There is no any other kind of package that could help me with the math. I did everything from the scratch, the least square method, everything. I didn't use pandas, I didn't use NumPy, I didn't use sklearn, anything like that. If you want to take a better look at the code, you can have access at my GitHub, but I won't talk much in here. So okay, let's take a look at the interface. Here we can see that we have 4 text boxes, 2 for each variable, one for x, other for y, and we have the error text box too. As I already told you, this app can calculate some error propagation because when you do some kind of physics experiment, we have measurement errors, and this app is made for calculate this measurement error propagation. The two biggest boxes are the entry boxes, where we can put the x values and y values, always separated by a space, and we need to have the same amount of x values as the y's values. The error boxes are a little bit different because we have two options. The first option will be putting only one value of error, and then this value will be valid for all x's, like the error of x1 is the same as the x2, x3, x4, and there it goes. And the other option would be putting more than one error. Then we need to put the same amount of errors that we have of variables, like the same amount of x's and errors. And the app will think something like, okay, the x1 has the error 1, the x2 has the error 2, and yeah, something like that. Now I'll talk a little bit about the checkboxes. There are two checkboxes. The first one is to use the y error instead of the x error, because when we calculate some measurement error propagation, we use only the bigger error, like x or y, because the other one is so different that don't make any kind of difference during the calculus. So yeah, when we want to use x's, we do not click on the box, and we want to use the y, we click on the box. The other checkbox is to when both x and y error are almost the same size. So we click in here, and it will use both errors to calculate the error propagation. So yeah, finally, after feeding all our data, we can do the calculus, clicking here, and we will open this new window that shows some graphs. The pie graphs show us some comparison between the errors variables, like the error of y and the error of x. The first pie graph is the normal error comparison, and the second is the x squared error comparison. It's like, yeah, basically that. The other graph here show us the function and give us the points that we gave them, like our data. The error and other variables that we find during the calculus, we can have access clicking here. This chart show us. And yeah, I know that is in Portuguese, it's hard to understand, but this is the A error, this is the B error, and I think this is the most important things about it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time. This was my MMQ app explanation. Bye bye.